Hey everyone, Al Fragnoli, Legal Leaders, joined this week by Andrew McCarthy. Andrew is a familiar face. He joined us the other week for Hot Topic Tuesday. He's back again. We talked to him a while ago when he was at the Central Michigan University working on his sport management degree. Andrew is over at the University of Cincinnati right now. Andrew, thank you for coming on with us.
Yeah, Al, thanks for having me again. I guess I did a good enough job on the Hot Topics Tuesday that I got an invitation back, so I think I'm off to a pretty good start.
You did okay, Andrew. You did okay. So we're excited to have you back. We're excited to talk a little bit of leadership and a little bit of some of your experiences at Central Michigan. And that's what we'll start off today talking to you about. But again, you did your undergraduate work at Central Michigan University, Fire Up Chips. Talk to us a little bit about your time at CMU. What was it about sport management program that you loved? How did it help you right now early on in your career? Are there any professors that maybe stood out from your time there? But just talk to us a little bit about Central Michigan and what it meant to you.
Yeah, well, I was getting set. I graduated high school in 2015, and then I graduated from Central in the summer of 2019. And I was just kind of going through the process of looking at schools and just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And sports has always had an impact on my life, but I really started to gain an interest for the behind the scenes, the operations, and having a respect for the fact that it's a business just like everything else, but it's so gigantic and so unique. I wanted to learn about it, and I know Central has a really good program that stands out. It's not, it's the only accredited program. They have a few boards that look at how many learning opportunities inside and outside the classroom. There's a certain ratio. I can't think of the board that accredits right off the top of my head, but with Central, you have an internship just like a lot of programs, but they also have a field study that you do. So they're basically built their curriculum around, we want you to learn in the classroom, but we want you to go out and do things too, which is, I think every program should have that mentality. So anyways, I was taking a visit there, and you can kind of sign up for different individuals to meet with. And Professor Steve Adler, I got to hang out with him a little bit, and he's going through the spiel with the program, and I'm sure he's been through this process a million times. But one thing that really stood out was not just how the passion I heard when he was explaining the program, what it means to him, and how he's happy to be a part of it, but he was able to he reached down into a drawer and he pulled out this giant bag of business cards. And any team, any level of sport you can think of, you could see it. He started to pull a few out, and he said, these are all individuals that I taught. And I don't, I feel like that's like a Nick Saban move, like him pulling out all of his rings. But at that point, I knew that there's a lot of different directions to go in, and that there's a lot of successful people that's come from this program. So that day was basically a done deal, and that's when I decided to attend, and I had a really good time, great program. Give a shout out to Dr. Mumford, who's been a guest on this show a couple times. He teaches a great class, and just a great diverse group of faculty members that are not they're not just teaching you, but they're rooting for you at the same time. And I think that's really unique. And there's people teaching the same class for years, and semester after semester you can kind of lose that passion, but all those individuals there, they're really rooting for you, and they stay in touch with you after your time there. And that's the sign of a true genuine program, and it's one that I was really happy to be a part of.
Yeah, Central Michigan holds a special place in my heart as well, Andrew. It's funny. I think a lot of people that go to Central Michigan and get that sport management degree feel that same way, right? I think their motto is pursue your passion, and there's so many people that are passionate about what they do, about the sports industry and how it's impacted them. And you mentioned Dr. Mumford. He is a fantastic professor there, probably one of the best, if not the best professors I've had in my undergrad or my master's work. So I value what he brings to the table tremendously. And Steve Adler, I love the story you told about him there. What a selling point, right? I mean, how could you not want to go to Central Michigan when he pulls out a huge bag full of business cards of students that he's taught now working in sports? So fantastic institution. Thank you for sharing your experiences
Yeah.
from Central Michigan. You're over at Cincinnati right now, so you're working on your master's degree there. Great football season that the Bearcats just finished out.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk to us a little bit about Cincinnati and what you're doing over there and kind of some of your plans right now?
Yeah, so the whole, if you were to ask me when I was getting ready to graduate from Central, even a year after being out, if I was gonna, pursue, graduate school, I probably would have said no. But COVID comes along, and I get in this situation where I'm, in between a couple of opportunities, and I'm just kind of thinking, um, that this is a a great chance to take a look at furthering my education, because I know a lot of individuals that stuck around at Central to get their masters in sport administration. They have a great program there, and that it opens some doors and opportunities for you. And some people just take their bachelors and they just absolutely kill it with that. And I wasn't sure what I was going to be. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be. And I just came across I was just kind of casually looking. And I was the summer I graduated from Central, I did my internship with the Cincinnati Reds. So already being down there, I understood the city and a lot of individuals that not only work within the Reds front office, but a lot of individuals that I interned with, did undergrad and got their master's degrees from Cincinnati. So understanding that it's really a staple of that community. And I was just taking a look, and I just started kind of casually going through the process of, okay, what would they need if I apply. And they have some great individuals that reach out to you when you're in the process. And essentially what I wanted to do was just make the most out of this time. And being with my age, and when I started this thing with with COVID and everything going on, I just wanted to um just do something that would last, and something I'd be proud of for the rest of my life. And that's what I found in the University of Cincinnati. I kind of honestly think their faculty, I would compare them similarly to Central's. It's a very diverse group that have a lot of um, specialties and experience from all over the industry. And the cool thing about this level is I get to read a lot of their research. I have a professor that we're using, actually, a textbook that he wrote. I don't know how often you come across that, but so I have to read extra carefully. But it's really cool, because they're again a group, a tight knit group that really roots for you, and you have some opportunities to do some really cool things. It's not exam focused, test focused. You're doing projects, and you're doing stuff to get get to get projects done. Like one example is, I have this course. I think it's one of the few in the country that's focused on grant writing. And what we're doing right now is you actually get matched up. You work with a school, a high school, and you help them find a need, and you go through the entire process of putting a grant together. So I'm with a school in Iowa, Coon Rapids, Iowa. Shout out to them if you have any listeners from there. And we're getting them set up to do a grant proposal for the MLB, MLBPA. They basically do, if you give them a submission, they'll help with development projects. And they need, their softball facility is really below par. The infield isn't really good. It's not fenced off. They don't have lights. So we're working with them, and we're going to get a proposal and hopefully get them some money to get that stuff put together. So it's real world stuff. You can go through a semester of learning how to do that, or you could just do it and learn while you're doing it. And that's the approach they take there.
I love it. That's a fantastic story that you shared with us right there. So thank you for sharing that. That's some interesting and impactful work that you're doing right now at the University of Cincinnati. And I love the fact that you mentioned the faculty is similar to Central Michigan. So it sounds like there's some great leaders at that institution as well. I don't think you'll regret getting your master's degree. So I am confident that you're making the right decision for sure. Andrew, league leaders, we always talk leadership. Leadership is critically important for any organization to thrive. What are some characteristics and some of the experiences you've had? You've been with the Reds for a little bit with an internship. You're over at University of Cincinnati right now. Central Michigan has some fantastic leaders that you're surrounded by. What are some characteristics that you've noticed from some of the top leaders that you've been surrounded by early on in your career here?
Yeah, well, definitely. I know when it comes to leadership, there's a lot of cliches. So I don't want to give anyone something that's already been said a million times. But I think really one thing that stood out to me is with leaders that I've been not only had a great experience with, but have really followed during my time is the fact that they're willing to do whatever it takes. Like I'll give you an example of this. So when I was with the Reds, when you're an intern, anything that needs to get done, you'll just get thrown on it. I mean, for some people, that's a lot of positions, especially in sports. But we had a rain delay, and we went up with one of the directors. I'll give Monty a shout out. Um, and basically we had some rags or some ShamWows. I don't know what their budget was there. I think it was a ShamWow, and we were going to the suites, and we were basically going out there and we are going to dry off the seats because they wanted to make that priority. It's a premium experience and it's the least we could do. So he just kind of tossed them our way and we started going up, but then I noticed that he was behind us, and it's just something that we knocked out together. We have a director out here that's taking care of the seats. We had one of the premium directors meeting us halfway from the suites, and it's just a couple individuals that really just got it done. They didn't just give it to interns. They didn't just give it so they could say they allocated it and walked away. They really saw it through, and I think that's really how you connect with people, because there can be people that follow a leadership principle or a system to a T, but if you really don't have that connection with the folks that you're leading, and also the fellow leaders that you're working with, it doesn't seem very genuine. So I think that genuine relationship really and that really matters. And if you have the opportunity to not only take a lead, but just do something that everyone else is doing, instead of just ordering it, leading by example, that truly goes a really long way. And that's what I've noticed is leaders that have been memorable in my mind, they've all had that to an extent.
Yeah, that's a great example again that you just shared with us, Andrew. I mean, leaders should never ask somebody to do something that they wouldn't themselves do. So that's fantastic that you noticed that right away. And that stuff never does go unnoticed, right? I mean, that's something that we always remember. And you mentioned connecting with your people. Everything we do in life is all about relationships that we build. And you mentioned being genuine. As long as the relationship is genuine, humble relationship between individuals, showing that you care about your people, that leader is going to see success from his team. His team he's going to be able to translate and grow some leaders eventually down the road. So that's fantastic stuff that you shared. You shared some great stories, Andrew. So thank you for talking about your experiences at Central Michigan. Thank you for talking a little bit about the University of Cincinnati, what you got going on there. Continue to do great things at Cincinnati. We look forward to following you in your journey throughout the sports industry. We know you're going to do some great things. You're already doing fantastic stuff. So thank you again for jumping on this call with us. We appreciate it, Andrew.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me back on. I gotta give a shout out real quick. As of yesterday, we got Luke Fickell signed through 2028, $5 million a year. I mean, that made my Valentine's Day. That was by far the best thing to happen yesterday. So
that's a big deal. That's a big deal, Andrew. That's a good signing. So congratulations again to you. Congrats to the University of Cincinnati. We know that their sports department is doing some great things and continuing to grow over there in Ohio. So thank you again for joining us. We look forward to chatting with you again very soon. Thanks, Andrew.
sounds good. Thank you all.